we've been playing on and off semi-professionally probably since, I say 1975.
So why did you guys decide to name the band Kincaid?
God.
Tired of changing the name.
When we first put this thing together, when I got with him, it was the News Band. Okay, a little bit too much similarity to
Huey.
Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis and the News.
They stole it from us.
Yeah.
A funny story going with that. We were playing at Bell Stars. Became a
Next to
thing. But
Charlie.
person walked up to me and said, we played and said, well, where's Huey Lewis? And I said, what? And they said, well, they thought the News Band, they thought it was Huey Lewis and the News. And I told him, I said, well, no. I said, well, doesn't matter, you're better than Huey. And so, that just kind of put a thought in my mind that maybe that's a little too close, So we changed the name to the band Roulette, and then we found out about a year after that that name had already was being used. So everybody was always walking up to Bill and saying, hey Kincaid, where are you guys playing this week? And I told Bill, I said, well, hey, perfect name, it looks good written out. It's your name, it can't be, no copyright infringements or patent infringements. Let's just use Kincaid. And so that's how that happened.
So you're the lead guitarist. Yes. What made you want to play electric guitar? Because I know obviously, I know Jimi Hendrix, he was a huge influence back then.
As a kid, I always liked rock music, and I think my friends used to give me a hard time for liking rock music, but I just liked it. And and you're right, there wasn't many black men. If they were in a rock band, they played drums, keyboard, bass. They did not play lead. And if they played guitar, it usually was rhythm. Guitar players were doing more blues, and Hendrix came along and changed that. And I felt like, who says that I can't play lead guitar just because I'm black?
Obviously, Kurt and Tron and Dave, they stuck with you and they felt, they didn't care.
Tron and I have stuck together going on 30 years. I can't believe it. And obviously, if he didn't think I was a good guitar player, he wouldn't stay in the band.
How did you guys meet?
Dave and I and Steve Vandegrift were in a band together, and we hired Bill, and we hired Tron, and they fired me 6 times.
I knew he was going to say that, but his firing is his own duty.
Yeah.
It's his own problem.
It was my problem then.
How I got mixed up with these guys, I came in town, the band I was in, I came in town and asked Bill where they were playing, and Bill asked me if I was back in town, and I said, well, I'm back in town permanently, we're not playing. And so said, come down and sit in. I said, well, okay. And I went down to sit in, and I didn't leave. I just stayed.
I met these guys in 1975, and a fellow they had singing with the band called me up. He knew me from UT. And
Al.
he come over, all right. And came over, and we had 4 people, and Bill wasn't with us. And then we found out he was free, and man, we were like freaking out for like 2 weeks. Wow, will he come play with us? Will he come play with us?
All right, the one that was in
And there he
the bar.
was.
What is the craziest thing a fan has done at one of your shows?
I don't even want to go.
Gosh, I don't know if I want to touch that one.
There's times, I mean, how many guys we play someplace that went and been flashed by some woman wanting to show us her,
Assets.
her attributes. That happens quite a bit. Not even on this level, we get groupies.
Right.
I mean, people, might think us, is just a local band playing club or
Over the
whatever,
hill or-
but we still get groupies.
They have a style about them. They have been around for like 30 years, so I mean that goes to show that they've had staying power, and just their music in general that they they play and they sing, and just their style about how they go about things. Original, and they put their spin on like cover songs that are like from the 60s, 70s, all through the 2000s. So that's why I like them.
When I was going to school at the University of Tampa and was playing football, a bunch of us went down to a club, and some of the football players said, "Hey," talking to this band, said, "Let this guy get up and sing." And so the guys asked me up there to sing. I had my hair cut real short for football, and these guys had hair down to here. And so they called me up to sing, and I said, I asked them if they had a song list. They said, yeah. So I picked 49 by James Gang and Whole Lot of Love by Zeppelin. Well, about a week later, they called at the Jock Dorm over there and said, "Is this Tron?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, this is Leon from the band you're sitting with." I said, "Man, we'd like to have you come down and sing with us." I said, "Sure, I'd like to come down and sit in." "No, we want you to be our singer." So I ended up singing with him for about a year, and Leon tried to get me to go back to Jacksonville with him, but I was always into the school thing. A couple years later, after school, put together my first road band, and we were going to learn a song. We looked at the album, and it was these guys. The band that I sang with was called King James Version, that splintered and formed Molly Hatchet, Blackfoot, and Leonard Skinner out of that band. So through my contacts with them is how Bill and I later, and then two of the bands I was with on the road, how we would get to open up for all those bands is because I used to sing with them. And so that opened up, and then after the plane crash, of course, it was Roston Collins band, and when they would come in town, I'd call Leon, and I'd take the boys over, and we'd hang out with them, and so that was pretty cool. I mean, the big time. One little quick thing, you would probably get a kick out of this. We were at the Hyatt Regency. Skinner was playing in town, and we were walking down there, and this guy saw Leon Brooks, and I come out of the room, and he immediately recognized, I thought, Leon. And he walks up to Leon and he says, "You in the band with him?" And he was pointing at me, and I couldn't figure out what the heck he was talking about. Well, this particular band I had at that time had a little record thing out, and it was doing good. The guy recognized me and not Leon. I said, "You sure you want my autograph?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what about this guy? Oh, is he in your band too?"
No.
And I said, "No, not exactly. This is bass player for Leonard Skinner." And every time I'd see Leon after that, he would like, "Hey, rock star, what's going on?" The guy didn't know, I mean, here's what my autograph, and my little band was just a little opening act, and here's the bass player for Leonard Skinner. But of course, Leon ended up giving the guy just tickle pink, man. He got 2 autographs there, but that was, I thought, kind of a funny situation. And from that time on, Leon called me rock star.
Starting out, you just got to get like-minded people,
It's hard.
Got to have somebody go, "Hey, I think this band sounds good doing this type of music, that." But more than likely, a lot of new bands want to go out and do their own stuff, which is fine, but I don't think they have any idea or what kind of direction they have. We have some friends of ours who are young guys who want to be really good, but they don't know which way they want to go. In this market, Knoxville, Tennessee, East Tennessee, that's what people want to hear, Leonard Skinner, AC/DC. And you could throw in some stuff sometimes like other bands, We do some Zeppelin, people that goes over. We can do some funk stuff, but you've got to play for the audience or you will not play. If you want to do heavy metal all the time, you're not going to do that in Knoxville. There's a market out there, but you just got to remember that people play to hear you. You're out there playing so people will come and hear you. You can't play stuff you want to do all the time. I think you can't be a hard rock band all the time. You can't be a funk band all the time. You have to play a variety of music in this market to work. And if you have an ego like I think most people do, being a musician, you are going to want to be seen.
Right.
So suck your ego up, kids. There you go, guys. Just practice. Play songs that you're comfortable with, your band excels at, and play songs people want to hear.